What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Glass Gambit here bringing you another Pyromancer build. Now this is going to be an update from the previous one that I did before. You were able to kill those, the whole map in 35 seconds. You're still going to be able to kill the entire map, but you're going to be able to kill that captain in around 15 seconds as well. This is based on a hybrid type build, so you're going to have that anomaly power and that firepower. So if this seems like it's going to be interesting for you, or something that you would be interested in for getting those legendaries, we only got about 7-8 days left. Please stay tuned. And also, we're going to go over the basics. We're going to look at the actual class tree, see what things he actually has on his passive and how he should be played. So all I have to say here is enjoy the video, and I'll see you soon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we've made it to the Pyromancer class tree, so we're going to go over the basics, the passives that he has, and the way that the Pyromancer should be played. So let's go ahead, we're going to jump straight in. So first off, the Pyromancer, he's going to be a medium range conjurer. His element is going to be fire. For his melee skill, you're going to deal 73 damage and inflict burn on enemies within a small radius if you hit them. Now, this damage is going to go up or down depending on how much anomaly power you actually have on your demo build. Next, we're going to talk about the healing mechanic. As the Pyromancer, you will recover health whenever enemies marked by your skills are killed. All right, so you have to mark an enemy with a skill, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of people were having problems with this as well when it came down to it. If your skills go on cooldown, do not be afraid to use your melee attack. Your melee attack will mark those enemies. All right. Then we have our two passives at the bottom. So you're going to receive additional 10% anomaly power. You're going to always have that 10% anomaly power no matter what type of build you have. And then for that second passive, you're going to have skills mark damaged enemies for 15 seconds. Killing a marked heals you by 24% of your max health. All right. And then for the class points, I went ahead and I went one into Ashbreaker. We're going to be using the Inferno weapon, which increases our weapon damage by 8%. And then we're also going to be using one in Tempest, which is going to increase your anomaly power by 6%, which is going to be the Archmage. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump over and check out the skills. All right, guys, now that we've made it to the skill tree, I just want you to understand this is an update for the demo build that I made previous. It's going to help you just kill those captains a little bit faster. So we are using the same skills. It's just going to have a little bit less damage because I'm using a little less anomaly power. And you're going to see how I put that together from what I did with the class tree and going into the inventory. All right, so the first thing we're going to have is going to be Heat Wave. It's going to summon a fiery wave that deals 58 damage and inflicts burn onto all enemies in its path. The type is going to be an Ignite, and it's going to have a 13-second cooldown. The next skill I am using is going to be Overheat. It's going to deal 12 damage to all enemies within a large radius and interrupt their skills. Enemies afflicted with burn receive 149 damage instead. The burn will be consumed. This type is going to be explosive and interrupt, and you're going to have a 22-second cooldown. And last on that list, we're going to be using Feed the Flames. So you're going to select and pull an enemy toward you, dealing 83 damage, draining 206 health, and inflicting ash. This type is immobilized, and you're going to have a 17-second cooldown. Alright, guys, now that we've made it to the inventory, we're going to go over the basics first. Now, you're going to see that my health is still the same. It's going to be at 148. Armor's at 1008. Then we have our firepower over here. It's going to be 405. We do have some firepower on this build instead of full anomaly now, and then our anomaly power is going to be 329. Now this is still enough to still wipe a map, especially if you're playing solo. You won't be able to wipe the map as quickly if you're playing in a 2 to 3 squad, but you can definitely still do some damage there. And as you know from the previous videos, your anomaly power is going to increase your damage dealt for your melee, your skills, and your status effects. The increase is going to be displayed at the bottom. So we got skill damage bonus, and we're getting 75.3% extra skill damage there. All right. When it comes to the weapons that I'm using, I am using the Grim Marrow, the light machine gun stabilizer VAR. The firepower is at 303. We got critical damage 12.8%, skills life leech at 1.08%, and a close range damage. Now I do have a second one. That one just came out higher on the firepower, so I'm using that one instead. The singularity is still glitched, but killing shots create an anomaly singularity. When destroyed, the singularity explodes, dealing 458 damage to enemies within a 6.5 meter radius. Now, I finally did get to see this work because I've been using it so much lately, and that's just going to be your first perk. It's all right when it actually procs, but we're still using it for the second perk, which is going to be improved stiffening. Shots inflict slow on enemies. Now this is my initiator. I want to slow that captain down so that I can get my full shots off. The gun that's going to be the bread and butter that we're using right now is going to be Rigorous Gaze. It's going to be a rifle standard VAR. Firepower is at 336, is really high. Crit damage is at 11.9%. We got status power on there too at 17.5%, with long range damage increase at 6.5%. Now this works really well. As you can see, that firepower just jumped up to 440. And with the kit that we're using on our armor, this is beautiful. I can drop a boss with a full clip, all right? Especially if you're hitting those headshots, and the perks aren't bad as well. So we got Weakness Trap for the first perk. Shots create explosions, dealing 46 damage and inflicting weakness on enemies within a 5-meter radius of the target. Now this works perfect, but the second one is going to be the one that's going to be the bread and butter, the burning bullets. So shots inflict burn on enemies whenever you shoot them. All right, now this is perfect for me because when you're using that that overheat, I can actually take that burning bullet. Once I proc that burn on an enemy, I can take that and use it to increase the damage output that I'm using on there. For the pistol, it's just a regular pistol that I picked up. It's 245, got crit damage at 11%, got burning bullets, and the shots is going to inflict burn on enemies. All right. Now going into the kit, what are we using for armor? First, we're going to be using the mask. We're going to have the armor at 205, anomaly power at 48. We got Fire Eater still there for the Feed the Flame. It's going to increase your health drain efficiency against targets afflicted with burn by 150%. Now, like I said, this is just an update. So basically, I've just been farming the same armors over. I've switched a couple things around, but it still has the same survivability, but just more damage. All right. So for the chest piece, we're gonna have armor at 206, and then we're gonna have bonus firepower at 36. Now I've been trying to find this at 41 because 41 is the max. Then I can get a little bit more firepower on that rifle there. And then we're going to be using that perk 3rd degree for overheat. It's going to increase weapon damage against enemies damaged by the skill by 25% for 8 seconds. Next, we got the pants. It's going to have armor at 207, and then we have another bonus firepower at 41. We're going to have burnt out with heat wave. Damaging enemies take 35% more damage for 8 seconds. Next on the list, we have the gloves. It's going to have 182 armor. Max health is going to be 47. That's the max for the demo. And then we have pants on fire. So this is going to be for your overheat. It's going to increase by 46 the damage to enemies who were damaged by the skill but did not take the status consume. All right. So if I'm shooting someone, say with the Grim Marrow, and say I hit them with the slow, the overheat's not going to take that buff. So that means I'm just going to get that 46 extra damage. Now, if I was to put a fire buff on there, say I use this rifle, then I won't get this 46 damage. But it's not going to matter anyway because you're using that overheat to wipe the map. So if you're playing solo, by the time you get to that second ability for overheat, everything will be dead. So you want to be careful when you're farming solo. You will kill everything on the map, and then you will have to start over. You'll have to go to the menu and redo this. With the extra added damage too, it's going to be easier to kill those bosses, and it's going to be easy to kill those breachers. So you definitely want to be careful when using these abilities. All right. And last on the list, we're going to have the boots. So we got 208 armor. Anomaly power is going to be 48, and then we have wide grip. It's going to be for Feed the Flame. It's going to enable absorption of 1 additional target. Now that we've gone through that, I'm going to go ahead and show you the combo that I use when using the Pyromancer now. Since I have these weapons, but because the firepower is so high, you don't actually need any legendary still. It is exactly like the original build. You can use whatever weapon you want, and you're going to hit a lot harder, and those captains are going to die for it. So I'm going to go ahead and show a brief video of that. All right, guys. Now, since we showed that that combo and the way that it works with the Grim Arrow and the rigorous gaze, coming back here just to show you why I decided to take that that anomaly power off. Now, you're receiving 10% anomaly power, and then we also have the Archmage here, so you got 16%. You don't need it anymore. All right. Now, I was at like 400 something before. Yeah, it killed everybody, but in a solo setting, you're still going to hit those lower adds. They're still going to take half of their health, and the second one's going to kill them. Once you get that overheat for the second time, everything's going to die. All right, and then on top of that, you're just increasing that weapon damage a little bit more so that you can kill those captains faster. All right, so this build probably took it from like 35 seconds down to like 15, maybe 10 seconds. It's definitely worthwhile. So now you can just run straight in there, kill that boss, and then kill yourself. I hope you enjoyed the clips that I had for you guys today. Even though I showed, well, I showed the legendary version of it, and then I showed you without the legendary, so you could see that you definitely do not need a legendary to use this build. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.